Hey everyone, Simon here. Long time no hear. It's been about a week or two, maybe, since our last update, and that's mainly because I've been at this place here in doing Panchakarma. This is the view from my room, and I'll talk to you guys about that a little bit in a second. I've got to know the owner a little bit, and he's been very kind to extend some discounts to anybody who may be interested. And I'm amazed. This is truly the best place I've ever done PK. So anyway, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, let's get to some updates. And let's talk about, let's see here. Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, or was it a week or 10 days? I don't know. Time here is very fluid. So I'm not quite sure how long ago it was, but I did mention that I see Bitcoin going back to 50K by the first week of March. On my Twitter, I put March 2nd because I was ambitious, but let's say first week of March. If that prediction holds, because at the moment my predictions are a little wonky. I've got Rahu on a very sensitive point in my chart. And when Rahu is doing that, sometimes it's best to stay away from the game. Fortunately, and hopefully he'll move away soon enough, and I'll be back in the game. But if this prediction holds, then I see Bitcoin to 60K by the end of March. Oh, 1 second. Let me pause this 1 second. Okay, so that was interesting. That I'm not sure what kind of omen that was, but that was the owner of the facility who just came to say bye. He's taking off. Okay, so anyway, if this prediction holds true, then we have Bitcoin to 60K by the end of March, and then about the first week or two of April may be a good time to rebalance, meaning take some profits. Then May, June is when Jupiter is going to cross Bitcoin's Yogi point and moon for the first time. So I think there's going to be some volatility, massive wicks up and down in May. And then Jupiter is going to retrace back in September and then move forward and cross for the third time. So those three crosses are very important because no, it's not a Dan Brown novel and a sign of the Illuminati. It is the way the planets move. They move forward, backwards, and then forward again. And if you have an important point here, then that planet's going to cross it once, twice, 3 times as it moves. Those are the most important ones. So the big thing, you will feel it when it first crosses, but it's not going to be the biggest touch. Usually the biggest touch is either on the second or the third cross. Although we don't know. So May and the first part of June looks very interesting. Really, the last part of April through the first week of June, that 6-week period is quite interesting. So I would keep some dry powder, but I would also personally, I'm going to leave some stuff in the game as well. It's a very beautiful hummingbird sucking on a flower right now, drinking nectar. Maybe that means taking profits. And he's, wow, beautiful, yellow bellied with kind of a green feathers. Yellow, Jupiter's color. Okay, drinking nectar. Oh, and he's singing now. Okay, he's taking profits. Okay, so when we get to the point where you are well into profit, it may be good to dollar cost average out. What does that mean? Well, we talk about dollar cost average, or DCA, which means if you have $1,000, buy $100 this week, $100 next week, $100 the following week, like that. You're averaging in. Similarly, if you have 10,000, you made profit. Take 1,000 out this week, 1,000 out the other week, and so forth. Or you set the amounts, but start averaging out. When? Well, according to this, maybe first first week of April or so, first to the second week of April. But then also starting the last week of April, there is this Jupiter transit. So we want to see how that goes. So if we see that it confirms, Bitcoin starts shooting up again, that would be a good time to be in the game. So anyhow, all that, okay, what was all that? Bitcoin to 50K by first week of March. If that holds true, then I see Bitcoin to 60K by the end of March. That should bring our markets back up to where they were a few months ago. Then May, June, volatile. And then September and, December, I think I meant November. September and November could be, because they're the last pass of Jupiter, could be quite interesting, meaning quite good for Bitcoin. And what's good for Bitcoin is good for the market. So that's why we talk about Bitcoin. That's why we look at Bitcoin's chart as it goes. As you guys know, everything goes. Let me pull up the chart here. Okay, so you can see here that Jupiter enters the sign of Pisces actually on April 13th. So that change of signs for Jupiter is quite interesting because literally on a day or two, one day later, the sun becomes exalted. And now we have some very interesting things going on for Bitcoin. The sun will be in its 10th house. Jupiter will be in its 9th house. So even starting mid-April, we're going to observe these markets very closely. So far I've given you my prediction for March. So we've done prashnas for that. So let's see if March holds true. But I'm very interested in April and May. And specifically looking at April 28th. So the last week of April, Jupiter and Moon and Venus will be on Bitcoin's Yogi point. I mean, if that is Bitcoin's chart, that should produce a pump, okay? Because Jupiter is Bitcoin's Yogi. So literally the last week of April, but the upturn could start as soon as, mid-April. In fact, let's go ahead and pull up Bitcoin's chart here. Sorry, I'm a little unprepared. Wasn't expecting to do this, but you have to expect the unexpected. Okay, here's Bitcoin's chart. So to reiterate, Jupiter is not the yogi, it's the duplicate yogi. Saturn is in fact the yogi. And yes, so the sun will be mid-May, it will touch Bitcoin's part of fortune. The sun will be here, exalted in Bitcoin's 10th house. Jupiter is going to be touching Bitcoin's yogi point at 3 degrees here, April 28th. And then about 10 days later or so, the sun is going to touch its part of fortune. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the Vedic chart that looks auspicious. So let's see. Like I said, we're going to look at April and May as we get closer to April and May. Let's take care of March first. Yeah, so that's that. Next thing I want to look at is hacks and phishing scams and exchanges getting hacked and you losing your money. So I've heard from a couple of our members that they had stuff on KuCoin and they got hacked. I think because somehow somebody got a hold of their API or something or other. So guys, if you have money on exchanges, I would strongly consider one of two options. Get a hard wallet, Nano Ledger or something like that. And I use Celsius. I like Celsius. You guys know I like them because their security. If you put your funds in Celsius, there's good security. If you put it on HODL mode, it means no one can take it out for 3 days. Even if you start a withdrawal, you need 3 days for it to process. And hopefully during that time, if there's any issue, like if someone hacks, then you'll get in touch with them and say, no, 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 that wasn't me. So I like those features. I mean, they're growing as a company tremendously. We had Alex on our talk to us on our program. He's, you know, he was on Pomp, Anthony Pompliano's podcast just recently. Definitely watch his AMAs. There's a Pomp podcast. I don't know if this was recent or not, but this is from a talk there. And they also have super duper lending. I mean, right now, I think they're doing 0.1% loans. No origination fees or any of that. You can just get a loan against your crypto, and you can pay it back anytime. I've done plenty of loans with them, and they're like that within 24 hours. And you earn interest. You earn interest on your crypto. Now, granted, they don't have all the coins, but so if there are coins that you have that you want to store elsewhere, maybe consider MetaMask or another wallet, or given how this market works, consider just using the coins that are in Celsius. Maybe use that as a, you know, as a bridge. You know, KuCoin and all these other exchanges are very attractive, but who knows how safe they are? And actually, they've been proven to be much less safe. Celsius never been hacked. To my knowledge, if you want $50, there's my code. I'm sure many of our other members have codes who are members of Celsius. Oh, sorry, that's my Voyager. This is my Celsius one right here. So sign up, deposit $400 or more, and you get an extra $50, and it adds up. It's super good. You can earn like 17-18% on synthetics, and on USDC you get like 11% if you're not from the US, or like 9-10% if you're from the US. I don't know what their rates are today. Anyhow, but hacks suck, and again, we've had members who have called me on the verge of suicide. You know, who have lost all their funds because of a phishing scam, or they gave their keys to somebody. So guys, I mean, it happens to everyone. It's happened to CEOs of tech companies. So it's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's just these damn hackers are everywhere. And I've got a couple of video links in the newsletter today to kind of watch some of these videos. It's incredible. I've never heard anybody swear like these Indian hackers at the, I mean, it just, my Puritan sensibilities were seriously offended when I hear these guys, because we all have the image that Indians are very nice and polite, and many of whom are. They're educated, polite, and so forth. But man, there is a subset of people, just like in any country, anywhere in the world, who are creeps, and they have absolutely no compunction about taking what's yours and laughing at you when they do it. So yeah, so I use Celsius. Use what feels right to you. I mean, Ledger Wallet, maybe MetaMask. Make sure you don't share your keys with anyone. And oh, final thing about hacks, please, if you know anyone who can help some of our members recover lost funds, or that they're, you know, from an exchange, please write in our Discord, our elite Discord group. We've got a place where you can chat. The Telegram is so busy and full, and it's so hard to go back and read messages. If you know anyone, if you have resources, please put them in there, and hopefully those people who are affected can use them. Okay, finally, Vince is gonna take over some of our classes. Sorry about that, I had to plug in the computer. Because I'm doing Panchakarma, and which I'll tell you about in a second,
Actually, let me tell you about that first, and then I will tell you about what our schedule is. So, uh, a number of you have emailed me wondering where I am. So I'm here, place called One World Ayurveda. So as you know, I've been to a lot of places. Look at this copper tub, by the way. I've been to a lot of places to do PK, including India, including United States, including Bali. And I've done it in Bali for 3 years, 17, 18, and 19. And I chose a new place this time. And I have to tell you, this is the best place I've ever been. The owner who created this is an outsider Dharma type who was a restaurateur for five-star restaurants. So he took that five-star experience where you truly feel pampered, taken care of, down to the minute detail. Like they come twice a day to make your bed if you want that, right? I feel embarrassed, so I tell them, no, just come come once every other day. But if you need it, because when you're detoxing, the last thing you want to think about is cleaning your room. But that kind of minute detail to these amazing treatments that incorporate like these are castor leaves here you see on this woman from nature. So they're castor leaves, and she's in a special tea. So it's not just a bath; it's a herbal, a therapeutic treatment, and they have their own gardens. Anyway, it is a five-star experience. It's more expensive than other places, and rightly so, but it's 20% off, and so it's still cheaper than doing PK in the United States, and certainly will be a more, I think, a more fulfilling experience because you get two therapists, first of all. In the US, to pay for two therapists is extra in a lot of places. You get seen by the doctor every day rather than just at the beginning and then, an exit interview at the end. So you get seen every day. Your pulse is taken every day. There are 2 sessions every day, 3 meals a day, free laundry. Everything is literally taken care of. So you have to worry about nothing, basically. And these guys do it right. So if you are not coming to Bali, and that's out of the question because you have pets or family or whatever, they also have a very inexpensive, it's like $75 online program. And you could do a week's worth of Panchakarma online. Here it is, right here. Anyway, I get nothing out of this, guys. I don't get any discounts or anything. I'm telling you about it because I've been here a week now. I've dropped 3.5 kilos, which is about 7-8 pounds. That's in 6-7 days without really trying. I mean, I'm not exercising, I can tell you that. Just doing a little bit of yoga and getting some pretty amazing therapy. So anyway, you can get these online sessions. You can get 5 sessions for $300, which is a steal, I think, and do it online as well. So we can all be doing it together. On-site obviously is better, is best, but not everybody can make it. Now, in terms of COVID and quarantine, let me just write this down. So oneworldayurveda.com. Starting the middle of this month, no quarantine and free visa on arrival. So you don't have to go and do everything that I did, which is get a bunch of tests, a bunch of visas, fill out too many forms, stand in line. You have to be double vaccinated. I don't know about the vaccination status, but they are offering no quarantine time. If you've passed the PCR test and you're COVID-free, if you're negative, you should be good to go. So that's a big plus. And things are starting to come back. That's why they have 20% off. I think once this really kicks in, that 20% off is going to go away. So anyway, that's about what I'm doing right now. Part of it is the fact, let me turn on my camera again. I'm in the office now because I had to plug in the computer. Part of it is when you are doing these therapies, sometimes you don't feel like opening your computer. You don't want to talk to anyone. you are doing a deep cleanse. It's not a spa retreat. But most of the time, if you'll find the people are wonderful. But for that reason, we have some classes scheduled, our Divine Love class towards the end of March. And I did promise you guys we'd start doing live classes. I'm going to postpone those for a couple of weeks. And to fill in, though, our good buddy Vince, who is turning into an amazing astrologer and who's already done so much research on crypto, and predicting using KP, which he graduated from all of Dr. Dutta's classes, as well as other methods. So he's going to come in and guest host a couple of weeks while I'm, still getting treated here, as it were. And I think it should be very interesting. A couple of years ago, we had Abhijit do this for a month for us, and that he was amazing to do it. I won't put him through that again, but Vince has agreed, and I think he's already made some tremendous contributions in the Discord chat, which I have been kind of keeping up with a little bit. So he'll be great to ask questions to, and so forth. And then we'll get back. Nadia and I will maybe do a class towards the end of March. But I will keep you posted on what our prashnas look like in these emails. So that's it. I will announce. I'll let you guys know when Vince is going to do the class. It's going to be first week of March, so coming up soon, and we'll go from there. All right. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I can't promise I'll get back to you in a timely manner, because sometimes, like tomorrow, there's a holiday where there's no internet all day long. You have to keep in silence. And even when there is internet, sometimes it's spotty. But that's one of the downsides of being in a very foreign country. Anyway, that's it. February, March update. So February was a bit of a bust. We did predict the first week of February we'd start our rise up, and then this stupid crash came, which just bugs me. But let's see. If Bitcoin manages to hit 50K by the end of the first week of March, then we're still on track, and then on track to hit 60K by the end. So let's see. Let's keep an eye on what happens. I don't think this bull run is over, guys. This bull run is not over till at least the end of the year. I think 100K Bitcoin is an inevitability this year. And as Bitcoin goes, so the markets go. So, all right, I hope this is useful, and hope to see you guys soon in our live classes. All right, namaste, everyone.